You're listening to DraftKings Network.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Just a friendly reminder that right now, get any size iced coffee before 11 a.m. for just 99 cents. And a satisfying sausage McMuffin with egg is just $2.79. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Stugotz, you have heard me obsess recently on air about everything that I see happening during technological changing times in how we consume just about everything. And now Netflix and Apple and Peacock are getting together to create a bundle for Comcast at a reduced price. And Netflix has bought itself Christmas Day games for the next 3 years. Mm-hmm. And the other day, sports stopped for a moment during a pretty busy time in basketball and hockey to laugh with football at the Tom Brady roast that was live on television. And by every measure I can discern, a really enormous investment and a really enormous success. I would like for you guys to get me some numbers. I don't know if there have been estimates on how much that cost to produce. It seemed like a giant undertaking that would cost, I think, more than $100 million to make. I've got to assume. I don't know how much more. I don't have any idea how much it costs to pay all of those people to do all of that and to throw a flawlessly televised live event. Those are very hard to do for 3 hours without glitches. And Tom Brady now regrets it. I was surprised that he ever did it at all.
Same.
I was surprised that he had a blind spot about how that might land on his children to be products of a public divorce that has to be very hard because, Stugotz, I know so many people who are broken as adults because of the damages done by divorces that aren't that kind of public. And it really did surprise me that as a father, Tom Brady would be not knowledgeable about what the impacts of that could be on his children.
I know he has his regrets. I understand why, and perhaps it wasn't thought through enough. But most of the roasters went out of their way to not directly talk about Tom Brady's kids.
Oh, but Stugotz.
But hold on. I was going to say, but they talked about his relationship with Giselle, his relationship with Bridget Moynihan, and of course, and they said nasty things. And of course, that is going to have an impact on his children. And I'm surprised Tom Brady, who seems to be pretty prepared for everything, did not think that part through before he went forward with the roast.
So he says he wouldn't ever do anything like that again. Not surprising that Stugotz would be maximum Monday morning quarterback on how did Tom Brady not see everything.
I mean, he saw everything the Jets were doing. I mean, before it happened.
That is correct. Mm-hmm. And it's easy for me to also say after the fact. I'm not a father, right? And I'm not, I don't know anything about divorce except I've seen what it's done to some of my friends who are adults who have formative characteristics that come from not knowing as a child, is that my fault that they're no longer together? Why are mom and dad not together anymore? And then to hear the jokes on television of, hey, how about mom cheating with the jiu-jitsu instructor? That's funny, huh? As a child, or getting that at school, or whatever it is the results are, that Gisele Bündchen, were the quotes from her, or was it just reported how upset she was? Were the quotes, did they have her name on saying she was upset, or was it just reports that said that she was upset? Because when you sign up for that, you're allowing a whole bunch of people who don't have to respect the rules in comedy.
Correct.
In that setting to have maximum freedom outside of Bob Kraft.
Right. Well, Dan, you have to factor that in. because Giselle is watching that, and they are laying into her and their relationship and how it ended, and Tom Brady doesn't get up and say, hey, stop doing that. But the second they go after Bob Kraft, he stands up and says, no more. You're not doing that.
Bob was there, and she wasn't. I felt like the Bob thing felt like he was just performing because he told Bob, hey, I told them no jokes about you. So they do a joke, so he's just got to get up and be like, hey, don't do that.
Wait a minute. Are you not paying attention to what was said on our show and elsewhere? That was not a bit.
I'm not saying it's a bit.
No, Tom Brady was legitimately mad that Jeff Ross crossed the line. Andrew Schultz has said that. Drew Bledsoe said that the tension was not manufactured. In fact, I thought it was super interesting to see how much more comfortable Tom Brady is with confrontation than the rest of us might be in that circumstance. Because Tom Brady had no issue in front of a whole lot of people protecting the power by stamping out Jeff Ross on his home field.
My first thought when that happened was, wow, I can't believe that is what is making him do it and not the countless jokes about his family or kids.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope that his kids didn't watch it. I hope he had like the sensibility to say, hey, don't do it. But also in this day and age, like that was my entire TikTok feed the next day. His kids probably saw that. And I would say like, hey, if my dad wanted to do a roast, if he was like, no, you don't talk about progressive insurance that way. But yeah, go ahead, talk about Lucy like that. I would not be happy.
I'm a little confused. You guys mean to tell me that Tom Brady made a career decision that negatively affected his family and he didn't think about it?
Billy, what
that doesn't sound like that guy.
What are you laughing about?
Her dad works for Progressive,
No,
which is an important part of that story that was absent.
Thank you, Billy. I would think that you more than anybody around here would totally appreciate making a joke that nobody understands except for a couple of people.
I've said he's worked for Progressive before, and I've also talked about his divorce on air before. I've talked about a lot of things.
Lucy, I agree, but welcome to the Meadowlark family, thinking all the things you've said on the show have been heard by all of America. That is how we do it. We think you've heard every single thing we've said for 20 years and remember it. Billy, more than most.
And now they all know my dad is divorced.
Correct. And that you
available though? Or?
No, not available. Shout out Angela, big fan.
Shout out Angela.
I saw you making faces when I said product of divorce. I don't want to dig around in what it is that are the adult damages of that for you, but just imagine, how old are Tom Brady's kids? I want you to imagine whatever it is that happens on school. And this is the part where, Stugotz, I forgive Tom Brady for not understanding. Even telling your kids not to pay attention to somebody, turn off the television, whatever, go out for the night. Mm-hmm. There is no way for this to be avoided once it starts circulating in places like TikTok for kids. And so it's not just your kids what they're going to get, but it's what all their kids at school, all of their friends are going to get. And now your kids are going to school. It is very real remorse that Tom Brady is feeling. When you do, Stugotz, help me with this because I am not a parent. Help me with what it feels like to love and to know that you've made a decision that harms your children and you didn't see it coming.
I embarrass my kids just about every single day. I've been doing it for 20 years, so I'm an expert on this subject. It's hard, and especially with Tom's kids. Dan, here are their ages, 16, 14, and 11. Kids are cruel at that age. They are relentless, and they are cruel. So what must have happened within those, friendly circles, and at school the next day, and it's probably still going on, I would imagine is relentless and uncomfortable for those kids. But it is hard, Dan, because I am playing Monday morning quarterback. It is hard to see all the permutations that could come from, having yourself roasted by Jeffrey Ross. Did I say that word right?
What was the word? What was the word?
I can't say it again.
Well, try it.
That's the closest I'll ever come.
Well, try.
Permutations?
Oh, no.
That's it. Mutation.
How do you think you spelled it?
Permutations?
Yeah.
It's just, how do you spell
That's
it?
closer.
I was going there, Dan. I was trying to help you out. I was giving you, you asked an expert about embarrassing his kids, and I was trying to help you out and tell you what it's like.
It was helpful.
It's hard to see, it's hard. It really is. When you're filming me and I'm smoking cigarettes and I'm doing a bit, the impact it will have on my children, I didn't think of that stuff when I was doing it, when I was in the middle of it, and I wish I had, but I didn't. But Lord knows, no one has embarrassed their kids more than me.
Let me address, though, the idea.
Tom Brady's got nothing on me.
let me address the idea of what the impact of divorce is. The 3 children you talked about, the youngest are Giselle and Tom. So it's 14 and 11.
Right.
And the difficulty of those formative years. I will tell you that my wife lost her mother at 12 years old to death, and it is a formative thing that has formed almost the entirety of who she is. And while this isn't death, it can feel like it to kids of that age, even if the parent is still around, because you have lost somebody. And unlike death, in many instances, you blame yourself because you're not adult enough to remove yourself from where the guilt is. This isn't true for everybody, but I've seen it enough at this age and younger. I have a friend who his parents got divorced, and as a toddler, he did not speak for 2 years after that. Now, that's a toddler.
Right.
But wherever it is you go to get the things that feel like love for the rest of your life, your parents divorcing is hard enough by itself. Your parents divorcing because cheating may or may not have involved is hard enough itself. But now add to the element this, all of the kids in the school you're in now know every single thing. And all of comedy is piling on to mommy.
Right. The other thing with Brady is he didn't have to do this. He didn't have to do it. Like, there's no reason to do it. I mean, I act like a jackass because I have to. I embarrass my kids because I have to. Tom Brady didn't have to do this to his children.
Could you say this is a transition into his media career doing this?
I don't know why he did it. I mean, that would be my best guess, but I'm still not sure why he did it.
He said he did it as a favor to Jeff Ross because he thought it would be funny. The Roastmaster General suggested it. It made, how many people watched this? Because the numbers were really good. It was a success in every way but this. But what a heartbreak for Tom Brady to have it be a success in every way but this, to create the regret and guilt of, I wouldn't do that again. What a horror for my children. I don't know that there's something in the emotional realm that doesn't involve like actual loss that can feel worse to a parent who's actually loving than to have a blind spot about how you harmed your child unnecessarily. I don't know how the disappointment, if you don't care as a parent, if you're not trying to be a good parent, if you think kids need to be more adult, okay, but if you're an actually loving person who cares deeply about the kids and is hurt by the product of divorce, if you then on top of that make a giant public mistake that harms them and you didn't see it coming, that one hurts, man. Even I know he's superhuman, but that one hurts.
Have you ever wondered if Chet Holmgren might be a descendant of Abraham Lincoln? Or if a UFC fighter could beat an alien in a fight? You might have not, and that's okay. I probably have thought about the UFC one, to be honest. But Shea Serrano and Jason Concepcion from the Six Trophies podcast have. If you love basketball, and more importantly, if you love fun, you gotta listen to Six Trophies, where Jason and Shea serve up the biggest moments from all around the NBA with their brand of unbridled joy, banter, and pop culture side quests. Each week, they hand out 6 pop culture themed trophies for 6 basketball related activities. Stuff like the Denzel Washington and Training Day trophy, given out to the player or team having the best week around the NBA. Or the Lauryn Hill You Might Win Some, But You Just Lost One trophy for the team or player that just can't get it together. Plus a bunch more trophies for all the good, bad, or just plain head-scratching moments from all around the NBA. This playoff season, you want to make 6 Trophies your go-to companion podcast. Follow 6 Trophies on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. Listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Dan Le Batard.
All of us who were watching college football elevated everything the weekend was because we missed football in general so very much.
You didn't watch the ending of UTEP Jacksonville State. It was awesome.
A doozy.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Stugotz.
It's such a lane for you. Just everything in college football is awesome. Any single thing that happens, she gets deliriously happy about.
Don't you miss viewing sports through that prism, though? Like, I'm envious of Lucy. Like, I wish that I could still be happy.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Before we get to Lucy and JuJu with their thoughts on the WNBA, which tipped off last night, the roast of Tom Brady, according to Variety magazine, was the most watched TV title on Netflix during the week of May 6th, and the second most watched title overall. The special hit 13.8 million views during the May 6th to May 12th viewing window. That's a lot. I expected more, actually.
It was
That's
number 1.
I have to scroll down here and look.
That's a lot. I expected more, though.
It was Brooke Shields and Mother of the Bride.
Mother of the Bride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw it.
26.7 million views.
Oof.
That's crazy.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't?
No. It felt rushed, honestly. Like there were scenes where I'm like, I think they're just trying to get this movie out. Like this seems like this is a one-take scene, and we're good. And let's just keep it moving.
Chris, you say you're making fun of me,
Also,
rightfully so. But 26.7 for Brooke Shields. I figured Tom Brady would get something.
That's
close
also
to
a
that.
lot.
Yeah, I expected more.
Can I say something controversial? Benjamin Bratt was in it. Benjamin Bratt, I felt, and I shouldn't. No disparagement to the Bratt family or anyone involved with Benjamin Bratt. He's 60.
I feel like something bad's coming.
Good for 60, but
always is.
I feel like Benjamin Bratt showed up one time at our studio unannounced.
He did.
With Bryan Cranston.
I walked them up. I was in an elevator with just them two.
So Dan has wanted Cranston on this show for years.
Yeah.
It was the day where Dan wasn't here.
Sedano got him.
Yeah, Sedano and Izzy spoke to him.
Right, yes.
But Benjamin Bratt came along with him because I guess they were in a movie together or something. I don't know.
Right.
And I was like, wow, Benjamin Bratt.
Good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not that he's still not, but I saw it and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
60 came. Still looks great. If I could look like that at 60, honestly, I would sign up. I mean, if right now, me, today, could switch bodies with 60-year-old Benjamin Bratt, I would do it. But, 54-year-old Benjamin Bratt, that was another animal. Hey, JuJu.
What up?
JuJu, what's going on? Lucy told me that because I'm conditioned.
I said, nah, damn that. I see what Dan be talking about. Billy is an anarchist. You gonna look at me talking about some damn hey JuJu talking about
he
Benjamin
just leaves that in your lap.
I don't give a damn about Benjamin Bratt ass.
I know.
I'm here to talk WNBA.
Yeah.
Who gives a damn?
Yeah, he dropped that in your lap.
The WNBA season started last night.
Right.
Caitlin Clark debut. The Sun stood up in the streets. They stood up in the fire.
Yeah.
DeWanna Bronner proved herself. I've been doing this forever. I'm breaking records. AT Alyssa Thomas, come on, man, triple-double first night. Look out, I think she on MVP watch already. What you think, sis? Lucy, what's up, my sister? It's good to see you. You know what I mean?
Good to see you, JuJu. Obviously, Alyssa Thomas is... Asia Wilson's the leading candidate for MVP, and I know we're only one game into the season, but the second I saw her walk out in that outfit before the game started, I said, she's MVP this season. Yeah. Everybody else can just go home. It's not worth it. But Alyssa Thomas finished second last year, and you saw that, like how great she was in that opener against the Fever. She's insane. Yeah. It's probably, I would say, the most stacked WNBA year we've seen in a long time because there's so much star power, especially with this rookie class coming in. I think viewership numbers are going to be insane, and I just want the Fever to win.
Hell yeah, bro. And the competition is gotten bigger and better than ever. Like you see with the Valkyries, salute the Golden State Valkyries. Welcome to the league, next year expansion team. But it's so much talent that's the result. It's so many great players out here that's not on the roster, and it's shining through because, bro, top to bottom, the Sun they're not even talked about as one of the top contenders of the championship this year. But you see top to bottom, three Janae Carrington with the defense on Caitlin last night, locked down. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I think that every team in the W this year, dog, can put their hat in the ring for no competition. Like the New York Knicks are doing in the NBA, every team in the WNBA is scrappy right now.
So, JuJu, obviously the Aces are the favorite to three-peat this year, win the title. Who do you think their biggest competition is?
I think their biggest competition is themselves, for real. Like they came out last night, put the foot in ass first early in that game. But then as the game go by, they get more comfortable. Then the Sun came back. Salute to Diana Taurasi turning back the clock. Like, oh my goodness. Like that Suns team, that Mercury team, I think that they're scary because they got Natasha Cloud and they got old girl Kalea Copper from Chicago. They got a team full of slashers. So I don't think that they even have a big man or the type of team that could give the Aces a run or a go, a problem. But like you said, a testament to the scrappiness. They gave them girls a run. So I think that the Vegas Aces' biggest competition is themselves.
No, I had the exact same takeaway because I was so excited watching that game when it was a blowout in the first half because I was like, I'm going to get to see Kate Martin. Yes, like this is awesome. Then we didn't get to see Kate Martin. That's okay. Her time will come. When you're looking at this rookie class, obviously Caitlin is kind of the name that we're all focusing on just with all the hype that's come into this season. What did you think of her opener last night?
I mean, I'll give her a B. I mean, because, like, look,
A B.
she's a rookie.
That's
like,
fair.
Yeah, I give her a B. And the B becomes because of the turnovers. You can't have 10 turnovers no matter who you are. But, like you said, I know about Dejanay. I know about the competition level. Like, no one says she's going to come in here and dominate. We say she's going to come in here and do her thing. So as for a rookie on that stage, you know everybody in that arena is here to see you. You know all the hopes and dreams are on your back. It's like LeBron. We haven't seen this type of expectation since LeBron. And for her to still come in and drop a dub, like she dropped the dub now. No, let's not do that. So she had a 41% usage rate last night, which is the same as she had in Iowa. So I think that I give her a B for last night.
JuJu, you're a very kind grader, an easy grader, a B. She didn't grab a single rebound. Her team lost by 21 points. It was her debut. I don't know how to handle this because I don't want to criticize Caitlin Clark, but
you do though.
If an NBA player had this much buildup and in his first game lost by 21, no rebounds, all the turnovers, the fouls, I'd be crushing them today. So Lucy says I have to wait 5 games. New job. She was trying to do too much, trying to show off. Probably a little bit nervous. Is that fair? 5 games before I can start criticizing Caitlin Clark? I gave her a C, by the way.
I mean, you act like you gave her an F-. That's one letter grade.
Give her a C.
Bro, you gave her 79. I gave her 80. Like, that's all that happened. I think that, look, brother, forget 5 games, bro. Have you will criticize right now if you want to, but just know that you're doing all this on wax. And whenever she climbed that mountaintop and slay the dragon, you gonna be on wax saying what you said. So I don't give you 5 games. Go ahead, say what you got to say.
Well,
I believe in her.
I already said it, but I'm willing to wait 5 games before I really go in on it. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know,
it's all good.
Okay.
Look, as long as we getting talking heads and our big brothers like you talking about it, we already having a good start.
Okay. JuJu, what's going on with Jordan Canada? Is she fine or not? Like, because she has a little O next to her name in my fantasy team, and it says that she's out. She missed preseason games, but I have no idea if she's playing in the regular season.
Come on, man. Neighborhood Canada, salute to LA. Y'all already know what's going on. But she, I seen her running around the gym. Like, I'm not saying she's healthy, but I seen her doing drills, running around the gym up and down the court. And that was as recent as Saturday. So,
all right.
I mean,
I'm putting
I
her
think
in
that
the
a lot of these
starting
players.
Yeah.
Right, like Dejanay had a O on her name. A lot of players got O's on their name right now, but that's just because, and like we say, we got to hold them accountable. ESPN, be as efficient with these WNBA rankings and nights and totals as you are with the NFL. Let's update these injury reports. Let's make sure we know what's going on because we're enthused about the fantasy season. Don't do us like that.
Mm-hmm. JuJu, 2 assists short of your parlay. I took it last night. Oh, my God. It was crushing. We were crushing.
Bruh, salute Doggy Dog, man. Salute Doggy Dog, Vandersloot from the New York. It wasn't even on her, bruh. It was because she was passing it to Sabrina, and Sabrina didn't have that wet shooting night like she was supposed to. But excuses are like buttholes. We all got one. So I lost the parlay yesterday, and I'm accountable.
All right.
Talking women's basketball, but going to the college game a little bit. I haven't been on the show since Lisa Bluter announced her retirement. I am so sad. I was devastated. And excited for Jan Jensen. She's going to be amazing. She's the perfect head coach. JuJu, what was your reaction when you saw Lisa stepping down after back-to-back national championship title game appearances? We didn't win.
That is quite the way to present that.
Wait,
back-to-back.
Back-to-back national title game.
Are you saying Caitlin left, so she left? That's it?
No, that's absolutely not what happened.
Well,
Lisa's been there for 24 years.
Right.
That's pretty much an entire Lucy.
And then
that's a long time.
She left
Then she left when Caitlin left.
I mean, look, we all get on Tom Brady for not leaving when he climbed the mountaintop. So, shoot, I feel like she understands. Lisa done went to back-to-back championships in Iowa. Like, how in the hell?
Caitlin did that.
I mean, nah, that's a teamwork. When you got your lacrosse trophies for being the coach of the champion team, did you help out at all, or was it just all the players?
It was all the players. I didn't do anything. I got to be honest with you. I just rolled the ball out. I mean, that's what I did. We were stacked, JuJu.
Well, Lisa was a little bit more involved than you were, I'd say, because she had to understand, like Hannah Stelke, like it's they have so many things that go into a season and confidence getting like up and down that roster. Gabby, I think that she instilled the confidence required that all of them could make it, not just Caitlin. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I think it's she deserves all the. We supposed to put her on. We supposed to lead some of these shows with Blue to retiring, like the same way we do.
Thank
I think
you.
Like Vanderveer, like we didn't give her enough attention when she retired. Stanford for all these years, bro. These goats are retiring in our faces, and we like, what's next? Like, nah, bro, that's a legend, sis.
No, I 100% agree. I'm curious. I hope to hear from Lisa soon in the next few days. I wonder how much of a factor like NIL and sort of this new recruiting age in especially women's college basketball, which is quickly eclipsing the men's, played a part in
like
her
it drove
decision
Saban from the game?
Yeah. Like it's harder now. You have to do double the recruiting. Like Iowa was active in the transfer portal and bringing Lucy Olson in. Like there's so much more that goes with it. So I'm curious if that played a factor in it or not. But let me tell you, Jan Jensen, that woman is going to lead us back to the national title game, and we'll win it this time. Not this year. Not this year. When Addie Deal gets to Iowa City.
You feel me? And underrated. Like, shoot, Lisa might want to get her groove back. She might want to go to vacation, man. It's time for Lisa to let her hair down and enjoy the fruits of her labor. You feel me? But before we get out of here, last night also, Lil Feezy, Nafisa Collier, and them girls, they took down the Storm. Now, the Storm got NECA. They got my girl, I can't think of it. The cameras, the lights. She knows what I call her. Skylar Diggins-Smith. They got a great roster over there as well as Jewel, Nneka Gumagwe, and Ezzy. I think that the expectation and the lights are bright for Seattle right now, and I think that the lights are very low for the Minnesota Lynx right now, and they could sneak in and take some of this shine away late season. Look out for the Lynx.
JuJu, we're 2 wins away here from Knicks Celtics. I mean, I feel like if you ask Dan for Game 3 courtside seats at the Mecca for that series, Dan will get it done for you. He won't get it done for me, and don't tell him I'm coming with you. But I feel like if you ask him, he will get it done. What do you think?
Hey, I'm on it. I'm going to ask his ass.
Okay, but again, reminder, don't tell him I'm coming with you, okay?
Right.
Yeah, then he won't get it done.
I'm terrified for my Celtics right now. The way the Knicks are playing.
What?
The way the Knicks are playing.
Right.
We're not going through these same tests that they are, and we are playing soft as hell. And look, man, I'm worried.
JuJu's been saying it all year. He really has. Right. Everyone's been praising the Celtics, and JuJu's been worried.
They've been the best team, the most dominating team in the NBA the entire season. They're up 3-1 right now. What are you worried about?
A lot of blowouts.
Right, by the hair of their chinny chin chin.
JuJu, the Knicks have 3.5 players. I mean,
and they all got heart, and they all will drive you. They all will take you to the rack right now.
They do.
The Celtics players, they will all shoot a half-court shot in rhythm. That's all they got.
All right, love you, buddy. See you Game 3 courtside, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Howdy, folks. It's Mike Ryan, and as you know, you're probably a sports fan. You know it's playoff time, and you probably have a team that you want to root on, and maybe you're like me and you're not a season ticket holder, so you miss the first crack at getting tickets. So what do? You check the secondary market. Well, let me tell you about my best friend in that secondary market, because I've tried them all, and no one's as good as Game Time, the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. You get to see the view from your seat on your phone before you buy the tickets. All-in pricing shows your total cost up front, so there are no surprises. Buy tickets in seconds with just 2 taps. I'm telling you, folks, this is a personal endorsement from me. I was using Game Time long before they joined us, and I'm so happy they're with us so I can preach the good word. Trust me, folks, Game Time, that is what you need. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Dan Le Batard.
You got to know I'm a big Colombo guy. Salute to that boy.
Okay, I don't think that's proof. I don't think that's proof. I think that could be. I think that's a lie. I don't think that's.
He said salute.
I don't think that is evidence. Salute to that boy. It suggests camouflage. It suggests that JuJu has no idea what we're talking about, and now is just Googling it.
Stugotz.
I'm not Googling it. My grandmama stayed in the country. I watched the Braves. I watched Colombo. I watched Matlock. I watched Andy Griffin.
Yeah.
Salute to you, sir. But you go to the penalty box, Dan.
You tell him.
Take your ass to the penalty box.
You tell him, JuJu.
Call me a liar.
You tell him, JuJu.
Back to you, Stu.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Here's a start of the day from that big being so blasé, setting records all the time. We've become so indifferent. We're all bored, but what the hey? Jokic stat of the day.
Nikola Jokic has more playoff assists than Shaq, Paul Pierce, Mike Conley, Joe Dumars, Allen Iverson, Kyrie Irving, and Damian Lillard. How about that? Big game, Dame.
As I'm listening to that, I legitimately don't know the answer to the question I'm about to ask, which is Jokic a scorer first? I legitimately don't know the answer to that. He had 13 assists last night, no turnovers. God bless, would I want that from my point guard. He is unlike anyone I've ever seen that size. Obviously, he's a 3-time MVP. But the casual excellence of doing that to the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. I, in sports, Stugotz, love when the best at this goes at the best at that, whether it's mixed martial arts or anything. I love watching the arts mix. So one of my favorite things is basketball. Okay, top of the key. Let's go. It's Jordan and Iverson. It's the top of the sport. They're guarding each other. What's going to happen? Top of the key, end of the game. Those shots are hard to get at the end of the game. Show me the best against the best and watch everyone on the court who is next to them become spectators just like you. Last night, Denver's up by 11, top of the key, and Harlan knows what he's watching.
Yep.
Harlan understands the history of what it is that he's watching, and he says to you, just like that, Jokic dancing with Gobert. And what I'm seeing when he says the word Gobert is, yes, these are two bears dancing. When he says Gobert, and I'm like, Jokic, what are you going to do? Go, bear. Go do what bears do because you're a trained polar bear. And I'm watching you against the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, and you hit the three-pointer in his face, and you're so casual about it. You don't roar at the crowd. You don't flex. It doesn't seem like anything other than the thing you do like a metronome, just jogging up and down the court, waiting for all of it to end so you can go be with your horses. Like just hoping it all can end, and the Defensive Player of the Year is on you, and he can do nothing, and you've taken Minnesota's greatest strength, Stugotz, because I know we talk about Anthony Edwards. He was on their team last year.
Right.
He was great last year. In Gobert, the Defensive Player of the Year 4 times who's not being played off the court. They have the number 1 defensive efficiency in the league at the rim. But what happens if you've got a polar bear who takes that out of the rim? What are you going to do when Gobert can't be Gobert out there because the polar bear is going to make a 3 in his face? And Harlan's going to shout, framing it, it's a masterpiece because it's the best the sport can offer. Like, you can tell me all you want about Jordan.
Right.
The offensive efficiencies of the game today make it so goddamn hard. 13 assists, 0 turnovers from that position when they got the Defensive Player of the Year, the 6th Man of the Year, when they are a swarming defense and they've got a giant rim protector who can't protect the rim from that guy who goes 8 for 9 on him.
You want to know how incredible of a playmaker Jokic is? He had 13 assists and no turnovers in a playoff game last night. Tony Parker only ever had 13 assists in a playoff game 3 times.
Ridiculous.
And he never did it without a
true
turnover.
point guard.
A point guard. Jokic is 7 feet.
Right.
And scored 40.
He is entering, Dan, he's about to, if he can pull this off and win a championship, he is entering a rare category of guys in NBA history that have multiple titles and multiple MVPs. Like, it's the best of the best. It's Duncan, it's Jordan, it's Magic, it's Bird, it's Russell, it's Wilt, it's LeBron. That's who it is. And Duncan.
You're not going to be able to explain this to your kids now, never mind in the future. Like, it's not, I'm not telling you 20 years from now you're not going to be able to explain it. I'm telling you, go ahead, go into your kid's bedroom right now and try to explain it. Because you're not going to be able to.
That'd be an odd thing to try and do, right? Like knock on your kid's door. Hey, want to sit down with you?
Maybe I'll do it
Serious
tonight. I'll do it with my 6-year-old tonight, and I'll record it.
They're
Please
wondering,
try.
like, is this the talk? And it's not.
Explain to them. I want to tell you about what unprecedented greatness we're witnessing. Listen, kid, I understand. You live in a time Skip Bayless chases LeBron 20 years with a pitchfork.
Put your tablet down for a second. I got to talk to you.
Yes, I got to talk to you. Let me explain to you what this person who was drafted 42nd in the draft is doing to this sport. And us dumbass media members are so unfamiliar with this kind of excellence that as soon as he goes down 0-2, we're like, yeah, it's over. It's over. I want the group to explain something to me, please. Draymond Green says this now of Minnesota. Their body language is bad. Karl Anthony Towns walks off the court. He's down 3-2. Draymond Green says it's over. Why do we need to do that?
Well,
why the need to do that? Please explain it to me.
He's paid to give his opinion. His opinion is the series is over.
I know, but why the need to? I'm not saying.
Oh.
I'm not saying his need to give that opinion. Of course, Draymond wants to be provocative. I'm saying all of you listening to me. Why do you need to proclaim a series over before it actually is?
We want to be right.
It's fun.
But you want to be right, but you're taking the favorites position. Saying it's not over is the actual unpredictable opinion. Saying that Minnesota was going to win that series when it was up 2-0, everybody was doing that. And I'm asking you, why? Why?
It's fun. They just told
Is
you.
it?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's easy.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Whee!
Right. I mean, I didn't hear you saying Denver was going to win the series.
I didn't know who was going to win the series. I like to watch it.
You thought it was over.
I would like to watch it play out.
Are there any series going on right now that you would like to proclaim over?
Yeah, try it.
Dan, Celtics are up 3-1.
Celtics over.
Come on. Panthers,
Over? Is it over?
Bruins,
Is it over?
Panthers?
Is it- I know you love
say it's
Game
over.
7s, but over? I mean,
That one's over.
There you go. Thank you.
See?
Come on. Join me on that one.
felt good.
look at-
Felt good.
Yeah, look at
It did, huh?
That did
Feel as
feel
good as I do, huh?
That
Try
did
again.
feel
Knicks
good.
Pacers. Knicks Pacers. Knicks Pacers.
Well, why would that one be over?
Knicks 3-2.
But I don't think it's over.
Oh, okay.
No,
All
it's not over.
It's
disappointing.
over.
Yeah.
It's over. The Pacers are going to win it.
Oh, wow. What?
Howdy, listeners. It's Mike, and you know, a lot has changed over the years. Just look at sports. There's instant replay, a three-point line, there were shifts and then not shifts. But one thing that hasn't changed over the course of all those things I just mentioned, the great taste of Miller Lite. That's right. It's so good. And it's also less filling. So what's the best thing about Miller Lite, the original light beer? Well, Miller Lite sparked this debate way back in 1975. We still haven't settled it. Be like me. I don't pick one. I like it because it's both. Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality. Great taste. Only 96 calories. It's a beer that strips away everything that you don't need and holds on to what matters most. You don't have to choose what's best. Be like me. Say both. Miller Lite. Great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs and premium regular beer.